Oh. Sarvadharmastapakatvam sarvadharmaswarupakaha acharyanam mahacharyo Ramakrishnaya te namaha. O establisher of all the faiths, embodiment of all the religions, the greatest teacher among all the teachers, O Sri Ramakrishna, my salutations to you. Sri Ramakrishna again and again is telling us that the path for liberation, path for salvation in this Kali Yuga is Bhakti Yoga. Follow the path of devotion, that is the much easier path. Following path of Jnana is also possible, but that is not for all types of people. That path of knowledge is restricted to the people of certain characteristics. For the normal people, Sri Ramakrishna says, it is always better to adopt, to follow the path of devotion. And Sri Ramakrishna says, even path of devotion, you can take that path to transform your ego. Now, ego, he has already been telling us so earnestly, Sri Ramakrishna is telling us so earnestly, ego is the culprit. Till the time this wretched ego, till the time this unripe ego is playing its tricks, it is not possible to proceed on the path of the spirituality at all, to proceed on the path of liberation at all. Till the time this wretched ego is active, it will keep the mind drawn towards the lower chakras, towards the lower three planes, which are getting entangled into the life of worldliness, the temptations of the worldliness, the temptations of the material pleasures. So Sri Ramakrishna says the best attitude is to transform this ego. We know this ego cannot be destroyed. We know, even if through the process of reasoning, Sri Ramakrishna tells, even if we feel that ego has gone, we don't know, suddenly from it will make a re-entry. It will not leave us aside till the time this body consciousness is there. The ego survives. The ego is indestructible for that matter. And then Sri Ramakrishna says, if that is the case of this rascal ego, this wretched ego, then better to transform it. Ego will be there. Make it an ego of a devotee. Make it the ego of a servant. Make it the ego of a child. And once transformed, that ego will not raise its hood to tempt you to the worldly temptations. Then, only then, your upgradation starts, your evolution starts, your transcendental journey from the lower planes to the higher planes starts. Once that journey takes place, then there is nothing to worry about it. It will take time. But make it a practice to follow the path of devotion, which is the easiest path in this Kali Yuga, because it is not possible for us to get rid of the body consciousness. Every now and then we are always reminded that we are the body, we are the senses. All the sense objects which are surrounding us, they are ever ready to pull us, to pull our senses towards them, all those sense objects. And we are helpless in that situation. Now, if that is the case, then why to keep this wretched ego as a wretched ego at all? Just transform it, Sri Ramakrishna says. Now, Vijay Krishna Goswami's another doubt. He says, you ask us to renounce the wicked I. Now, if I convert that wicked I to servant I, is there any harm in retaining that servant I? That is one doubt. And next question Sri Vijay Krishna Goswami poses to Sri Ramakrishna is, okay, now I am retaining the servant I. Well, what becomes of lust, anger and other passions for the one who keeps this servant I, for the one who keeps this child I? Now passions, they will be there. Till the time the senses and the sense organs are there, passions will also have to be there, because passions are the attracting forces. passions are the pullers of the senses towards sense objects. Now Sri Vijay Krishna Goswami's dilemma. Okay, wretched ego we can very well understand. It will easily get pulled by these passions towards the senses, will get pulled towards the sense objects. And ego will give them a free hand. Go and enjoy those sense objects. That is the permission ego is giving to the senses. And the sense organs, they will try to enjoy the sense objects. Now what happens if this ego is transformed into a child ego or a servant ego or a devotee ego? What happens to these passions? And passions are still there. How is this mind? How are these senses? How are these sense organs? They are going to tackle this problem now. So Sri Ramakrishna says that, well, if a man truly feels like that he is a child of the mother, if a man truly feels that he is a servant of the great master, if a man truly believes that he is a devotee of the Lord, then he has only the semblance of lust, anger and the passions. Then it is only a dikhava. It is only a facade, all these passions. They don't have any deep-rooted presence in the personality of the being then. He has only the semblance of lust, anger and the like. If after attaining God, he looks on himself as the servant or devotee or the child, then the passions cannot injure him anymore. By touching a philosopher's stone, a sword is turned into gold. It keeps the shape of the sword, but it cannot injure. It becomes harmless the moment it gets transformed from that iron sword to a golden sword at the touch of the philosopher's stone, at the touch of parasmani. That is what the philosopher's stone is called in Indian languages, parasmani or paras patthar. The moment iron touches that particular stone, it gets transformed into gold, and it loses all its properties when it was in that original iron base. So the sword made of iron, when touches philosopher's stone or parasmani, it gets converted to gold. It will look like sword, exactly. The same long blade, the handle and the carving on the handle, everything will be same. But it loses its sharpness. It loses its power to cut something. It becomes a blunt. Just for the appearance wise, it remains in that position of the sword. So Sri Ramakrishna says the ego of a devotee also becomes like this. There is a semblance of lust, there is a semblance of anger, there is a semblance of hatred. Yes, everything is there, but it is just for the sake of its show. It is not there which can bring out those detrimental results. So that is what transformation from the wicked eye to the ripe eye brings out. Then Sri Ramakrishna further gives another example of the coconut tree. When the dry branch of a coconut palm drops to the ground, it leaves only a mark on the trunk, which indicates that once upon a time there was a branch here. Now we see, when we see the coconut trees or palm trees, there are marks of the earlier branches which have fallen off. Branches are no more branches there, but we see those marks. We see those grooves where that branch was there earlier. That reminds us, oh, this tree, there were so many branches now which have fallen. Now we don't see the branch at all. We only see those markings. Sri Ramakrishna says the child ego becomes ego like that. It is only for the appearance sake. The branch is already gone. Just that mark is left over now. In the like manner, he who has attained God keeps only an appearance of ego. There remains in him only a semblance of anger and lust. He may appear for a moment. The person might look angry, but that anger which is expressed by this person is so very fractional. It has such a limited existence, that anger. He may appear to be professing lust, but that is just for a minuscule. That lust is in fact then directed towards the Lord. Give me this. That greed is directed toward Lords. Give me more of devotion. You are giving me devotion in a miserly manner, O Lord. I want complete devotion to your feet. I want to surrender myself completely to your feet. To your feet. Give me more and more of devotion. That is the greed that occupies the place of the original greed, which would have been for the materialistic accumulations. So that is what Sri Ramakrishna says, that all these passions, they remain, but they are only mere appearances. They are all directed towards God then. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, this person becomes like a child. A child has no attachment to the three gunas, the sattva, rajas, tamas. Now this entire creation is governed by three gunas. Sattva gun, which is nothing but purity. The rajagun, the rajas, activity, activity, activity. And the tamas is the dreadful lethargy. This entire creation is governed by the three gunas. But Sri Ramakrishna says, child is beyond the three gunas. There are only two types of beings who are beyond the gunas. One is the child, who doesn't have any ego, is beyond three gunas. And one is the learned person, the realized soul, is beyond the three gunas. For these two, the child and the realized soul, this entire thing is momentary. They don't get bound by the influences of this ephemeral world, of this temporary world. A child has no attachment to the three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas. He becomes as quickly detached from a thing as he becomes attached to it. A child will get attached to something so easily. At the same time, at a moment's instance, the child will get detached from it. And then Sri Ramakrishna gives a beautiful, simple, so lovely example. You can cajole him out of a cloth worth 5 rupees with a doll worth an anna. You can cajole the child. You give me your cloth and take this doll. Now the cloth is costing 5 rupees. Those days, in 1880s. The cloth is costing 5 rupees. The doll is just 1 anna. The 1/16th of a rupee. So the child initially will show reluctance. And then suddenly the child will give away that cloth, which is so costly, which is so valuable, than that insignificant doll which has costed just 1 anna. He will grab that doll and he will give away. He doesn't have those kind of high, the possessive attitudes. You can cajole him out of a cloth worth 5 rupees with a doll worth an anna, though at first he may say with great determination, "No, I won't give it to you. My daddy has bought it for me." Initially, he will resist. But then suddenly, out of blue, he will just remove that cloth and hand it over to you and grab that doll worth 1 anna. Now, 1 anna was 6 paise, those times. And which was nothing compared to 5 rupees. 5 rupees was such a huge sum. But 5 rupees worth cloth, this fellow is happily giving away to take that doll which is worth just 1 anna. And then again, all persons are the same to the child. To a child never differentiates in child's perspective, there is no pure, there is no impure, there is no holy, there is no unholy, there is no big, there is no small, there is no higher caste, there is no lower caste. He does not discriminate about caste also. If his mother tells him that a particular man should be regarded as his elder brother, the child will blindly follow whatever his mother says, even if that person actually belongs to a lower class, lower caste. He is not bothered about it. My mother has told me he's like your elder brother, he is my elder brother. That's it. What mother tells, that is the ultimate word for the child. He believes everything what mother says. The child will eat from the same plate with that person, though the man may belong to the low caste of a blacksmith. The child does not know hate, or what is holy, what is unholy, what is high, what is low, what is pure, what is impure. Child is beyond all these things. So likewise, Sri Ramakrishna says, the moment your ego gets transformed from the wretched ego to the child ego, to the servant ego, to the devotee ego, this entire transformation takes place. You become like a child. You go beyond the purity, impurity. You go beyond the realm of big and small, high caste, low caste. There is nothing of that sort for you then. You may keep those traits, but those are mere appearances. You may keep those passions, because those passions will never move, never leave you. But those passions then become mere appearances, and they have no kind of influence on your behaving in this world. They don't pull you down to the lower three planes at all. Then your ascendance towards higher and higher planes, your transcendence from the lower planes to higher planes, it begins. And that is what Sri Ramakrishna says is ultimately going to lead you towards Sahasrara and attain the Brahmajnana. Om Namah Shri Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Jai Thakur, Jai Ma, Jai Swamiji.